in 2016, summer of 2016, I said 18 months at the most, he's going to fall off the cliff. Now, I even added, look, he could have a year like Peyton had with Denver.
Laugh, but it's funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every quarterback ever had done the same thing. So I said he could have a year like Peyton had when he won the Super Bowl. Peyton was cooked the year he won. I'm talking about cooked the year he won the Super Bowl. Yeah. So that would bring it to 19. We're now in 2022, and he's still excellent. He just led the league in attempts, completions, yards, and touchdowns. And by the way, won a playoff game and almost led a miraculous comeback to win another playoff game. It's safe to say he didn't fall off the cliff. But he is talking. Guys, we were like, not I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago, how long could he play? Key, till he's 50? What happened?
Well, the conversation started when him and Gronk were together, and I don't know who podcast it was or whatever they were doing, and he and Gronk were talking about, retirement and playing or whatever the case is, and everybody was saying, oh, he could play till he's, well into his late 40s, even his 50s. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what he was going to do. There's just conversations that were just being batted around because that's what we do doing sport time with sports. But I think when you start to really assess things and you look at things as the season goes on, you start to say to yourself, as a player, I've accomplished everything, as I said about him yesterday before he actually talked to Jim Gray. I said on our show yesterday morning about Tom Brady has family. He has kids. He has a 14-year-old son in Jack, who I don't know if he's going to play football, basketball, baseball, whatever the case is. He wants to be around his kids. His kids want him around. This is what athletes are faced with as time goes on in their careers, unlike different professionals. It's not like a doctor or a lawyer. They come home every single night and they wake up and they're there and wake up the next day and can drive their kids to school before they head into the office. It doesn't work like that for football players. You don't have an opportunity to sit down and have breakfast with your kids in the morning. You don't have an opportunity to come home and walk your kids with the dog. It just doesn't work like that because you're at 7 o'clock, you're probably still at the damn facility breaking down film.
And not to mention you travel.
I hated it when my kids were young because when I got home, they were going to bed. When I left, they were asleep. I mean, you miss so much time, precious time with your young kids. That's why a guy like Jay, who started off having kids when he was done playing ball, he'll be able to benefit, and they'll be able to benefit from that, unlike myself, because I was so busy, or Tom Brady is so busy, and it affects you.
So I'm a betting man. Actually pretty salty because last night my Bulls couldn't cover after being up 28 points, but that's a different story. I digress. And
you need an outlet for your competitive juices.
My God. I would bet a lot of money that there's no way in hell Tom Brady's retiring. Like, to me, this is somebody that says, look, I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it, which when I hear Tom Brady say that, I'm like, okay, because typically when you're thinking about going into this, like it leads up, right? Years and years of you thinking about it. And I will say this as a fan, and Key, I agree with everything that you just said, because there is something about spending time with your family. Until you spend too much time with your family, like, get me the hell out of the house. But
what's wrong with this?
Well, I'm being real with everybody. I would love to see, and I think the game of football, for how great the greatest quarterback of all time would appreciate time. And I know some fans get annoyed at this, but we saw it with Kobe. We see it with certain people. Like if you're going to retire, go into the season saying, this is my last hurrah.
But he doesn't want to do that.
I know he doesn't.
Tom doesn't want to take the lap.
I'm not talking about what Tom wants. I'm talking about what I want as a fan.
Yeah.
I want to be able to appreciate Tom Brady the way I feel like he deserves to be appreciated. The same way I see Coach K being appreciated, the same way I see the greatest players to ever play or coach the game, to go through a season, regardless of whether it ends great or not, and just be applauded for what they've given to the game. It's being selfish on my end.
You want Tom Brady to play another season?
I would love for Tom Brady to play as long as he wants to play the game.
Because I can fix that for you.
How would you fix that?
Well, if you watch Man in the Arena at all or listen to it at all,
yes.
All I have to say is, apparently, it's in my power that all I have to say is, of course he's retiring now, Jay, because he knows he's about to fall off the cliff. The man will play. I could do that forever. He'll play till he's 100.
And
part of what motivates him is the doubters. I really think that the reason now he could walk away, the doubters.
You mean fools?
The reason now he could walk away is because there is no one left saying he can't do it next year. Right? If there was, if I was, and I believe he can do it next year. When I said I thought he'd fall off the cliff, it's because everyone ever had by that age. Then he didn't, and I thought I saw erosion, but it was really about his situation. Now you look at him, you can't say he's not going to be excellent next year. You're not if you're being honest. So now that he has convinced the whole world he'd be great at 45, maybe there's no reason to play at 45.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.